Wait, you so goddamn bad. Ooh, fine as a mother. Talking about you, girl. Ain't nobody else been here but you and me. I'm talking about you. Fine as a mother. That was me desserts. Hold on right a second, baby. I'll be right back.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Oh, shit. Rogisha. I mean, hey, what's going on with you, girl? I was just about to call you.
Shh.
But can I?
Shh. Who in there with you? Huh?
You with me?
That's Stutter? Who in there with you? Huh?
Girl, you know ain't nobody else in here. You know you're my only one, right?
This
Girl, I promise you, ain't nothing going on in this house. She ain't got nothing to worry about.
So you know what been about, huh?
Wait, hold on, girl. I was gonna call you. What's going on? What's going on? What are these ladies up into, huh?
Skinny ass, low bezel, stick drifting, 8-year-old NVIDIA Tegra processing bitch. Nene, who is this huh?
Goddamn, but you didn't even let me explain.
Girl, he gotta tell you all the stuff that I've been doing on my fast AMD Ryzen Z1 processor. I do it all, bitch. Becca, you stupid ass, no good having nigga. I thought you said you loved me and my motherfuckers of the kingdom. What happened? Girl, he was screaming running yo game at native 1080p and 90 plus frames a second. AMD stands for all motherfucking day, boo-boo. Oh, okay. Becca, I'm gonna get your stupid ass.
What's your problem? You trying to cap for your little No, let me talk. You don't need to know talking. Close your damn mouth sometimes. How about that? Be quiet sometimes. And you tired of talking.
There'll never be another MVP like you.
Let me talk.
What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, where I must say it is good to finally be sitting back in front of the camera with you guys again. In front of my new game room, nonetheless, in case you have checked out the new background. But we'll be going over this in a future video later on. But today I wanted to go over you guys PC handheld gaming, and one of the newest competitors decided to throw themselves in the ring. I must say it's one of the baddest hit the market since the Steam Deck. That being the ROG Ally by Asus, or as I like to call her, Rogisha.
Why you talking to me? Hey, yo, Mecca, you ain't sh**. Ain't never
Get into
been
it then, shall we?
Ain't
Let's start things off with this beautifully crafted white and gray box with a nice holographic foil on the front that forms the logo. And inside you'll be greeted with your device, and behind it some instruction books. But we ain't gonna need any of those because who has time to read that stuff?
Well, I can't read.
Get out of here!
You'll also get a USB-C type charging brick and some other inserts. It's relatively a straightforward packaging process. They're not trying to overload you with a bunch of useless stuff, which I personally appreciate from them. So first, good impressions from the full packaging. Now, the actual design of the ROG Ally is a thing of beauty. I truly believe that Asus spared no expense when it comes to the ergonomic and sleek look and the form factor it has. It's not too much bigger or around the same size as the Nintendo Switch, and much smaller than the Steam Deck. So kudos to Asus for knocking it out the park when it comes to how it's designed. The face buttons are going for an Xbox controller layout and color scheme which meshes very nicely with the white shell, and offset sticks to complete the Xbox controller motif. And the rings of analog stick have this sexy RGB lighting scheme that you can customize, which is very nice. Now the D-pad I was kind of skeptical about from all the pictures and videos I saw online, but it actually feels pretty good to roll around with my thumb. On the top you'll find the power button, volume tabs, USB-C charging port, which is also used to dock your Ally to a monitor or TV using various different third-party docks or even Asus's own docking port. There's also a micro SD card slot for extra expandable storage for those beefy sized games, and a headphone jack. And yes, it does have 2 rear paddles instead of 4, but hey, who really needs 4 when you can still dominate with 2? And let me not forget the 4 smaller buttons near the screen. The top left and right are used more as your standard start and select buttons. The bottom right is used more like a home screen that shows you all the applications you have running, and the bottom left is a command center that gives you free reign on how to customize your gaming experience. And last but not least, let's talk about the screen. It's boasting a 7-inch Full HD LCD 1080p touchscreen. Now me personally, I'm not too keen on LCD display since I've become more accustomed to the gorgeous OLED screen that's on my Nintendo Switch, but games still look absolutely amazing on this thing. So just my little nitpick, but definitely not a deal breaker. Getting into the tech aspect of things, the Asus ROG Ally uses the Windows 11 operating system, which is my personal favorite, and it still has quite a few bugs that it needs to have worked out, but it's still very competent at what you'll want out of a mini PC portable. It's rocking the AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor, 16GB of RAM, Basically what you'll need to run pretty much any modern games at a high frame rate upwards to 120 frames per second. 8.6 teraflops of computing power and RDNA 3. Now I must stress, this thing ain't no PS5 or Xbox Series X, but it ain't no bitch either, and it takes advantage of the specific hardware underneath the hood. You have the command center that I previously mentioned before. This is the central hub for your customized gaming experiences. Want to switch your resolution from 720p to 1080p on the fly? You can do that. How about enabling your frame rates to be locked at a certain setting without worrying about inconsistent frame rates? Well, you can do that too. All of your customizing wants and needs all located on a convenient setting, which does set it apart from other PC-based handhelds out there. This thing is a beast when it comes to emulation. I was able to get up some of my favorite GameCube games running using the Dolphin emulator. And I was even able to emulate a couple of Switch games as well. But I'd be damned if I go over that process for, reasons.
Your ass. That would have been your ass.
The speakers on this thing are absolutely amazing. This is the max volume the Ally can output. Take a listen for yourself.
Journey started young, super hard-headed. Call me crazy, but you was not my psychiatrist. But through a lifetime of strife and struggling, be the best, that's my covenant. And I'ma live forever, that's my legacy. Greatest of all time, that's what they gon' label me.
Nigga don't hate me because I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe you got rid of that old yee ass haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick. Oh, better yet, maybe Tanisha will call your dog ass if she ever stop fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with. Nigga.
What?
Now we're going over my favorite portion of this review, which is the performance. And it's a mixed bag, in both good and bad ways. I tried running a combination of 6th and 7th gen games and some recent titles as well, and the results you'll see for yourself. Crysis 2 ran immaculately on ultra high settings at 720p, and it still looks pretty amazing by 2011 standards. But when I switched the resolution over to 1080p, the frame rate took a pretty big hit. Previously it was running around 70 plus frames, now down to about 30 frames. Even when you lower high yield settings such as depth of field, ambient occlusion, high resolution textures, etc., you run into a few frame rate issues depending on the game you're playing, of course. Here's a second example. Now Rayman Origins should be a pretty easy game to run at 60 frames per second, but this is the results I got. Now check it out for yourself and see if I'm tripping or not.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, definitely not some good benchmarks if you ask me. Even after adjusting the resolution and the game visuals, this thing still be tripping balls. From my experience, I'm pretty certain it's because the extensions or the plugins when trying to run on the ROG Ally, which is causing the CPU to run 4 times faster than it needs to, which is more than likely hindering gaming performance. So let's go through a montage of games I tested for you guys to see with your own eyes.
Attack from above. Nobody ever does.
Is that thing out there with you? Are you crazy? We were aliens. Well, that's it? Son of a bitch!
Must be barbarians all over this region.
What a plus so heavy! That throw's gonna take off a chunk again. Escape denied! Piles on the corner pressure! Oh, putting it! Are you kidding me? How'd I move?
And I definitely need to make mention of this. The ROG Ally will run pretty hot during most gaming sessions. You'll be able to feel the heat emitting from the top exhaust vent, and I'm telling you, this motherfucker is pretty hot. And I don't recommend taking this thing outside with you in blistering temperatures unless you run the risk of it going nuclear. Well, at least this thing is going to come in pretty clutch during wintertime. And with those hot temperatures, this brings me to my biggest disappointment, that being the battery life. On a good day, you'll be lucky enough to get about 4 hours out of this thing. but that's also contingent on whatever game you're playing and the settings you have it on. This alone can be a deal breaker for most people if you're constantly looking to have the Ally on the go with you, so keep that in mind if you're primarily using it for handheld gaming. Now this one's gonna run your pockets and make you feel like Smokey on Friday.
100, 120, 140.
That's $100. Stop playing with me, Smokey.
The ROG Ally will set you back a whopping $600 for the standard model and $700 for the more powerful Z1 Extreme model, which is the one that I have. So depending on your particular needs and funds, you're going to be paying just as much, if not more, than Xbox Series X or PS5. So that's definitely something to consider when you're out trying to think about a purchase. But it does make for a great portable Xbox companion piece for your Xbox fans out there that desperately seeking a portable experience, kind of like Sony and Nintendo. Yep, goes pretty nicely with my Xbox Series X, not mini for edition. So now that we've gone over a lot of pros and cons for this handheld, the ROG Ally is definitely a contender not to be taken lightly in the ever-growing portable PC space. But it's not without its flaws, mainly being the optimization of games and the battery life. The games that do run on it look absolutely stunning, but at the cost of a horrendous battery life. And a high price point of entry, it's kind of hard to recommend it to be an instant buy. The ROG Ally definitely isn't a device that's for casuals from what I've experienced. It's definitely targeted for the hardcore audience, and you'll definitely need to have some technical know-how to get some of the games running, and consistently having to check for firmware updates. I know there's a subset of gamers that just want to turn their device on and start playing with no hindrances whatsoever, but I can say for certain that this is a device that modders and enthusiasts will love. So if you got the bank account and the time spent to tinker with it, this might be something you want to be on the lookout for. I'm giving the ROG Ally from Asus a 7 out of 10, and hopefully the next iteration of this device fixes all my major concerns. Then we'll truly have an A-tier portable gaming device. This has been your boy Ayo Omega signing off. I'm about to go play some Pikmin 4 on this thing for them boys in red show up again.